Okay, welcome everyone to tonight's Going Ruby call. I have three of my fabulous Emerald partners with me here tonight. One is sick, so sad she can't be here, but we are excited to share with you a lot of material. Now, we've been doing these all month long, training calls for going silver, gold, senior gold, and here we are at Ruby. And this is when we've planned a lot for these calls and really gathered a lot of, put our heads together to figure out what can we bring you to help you realize that your next step is becoming a gem in this company, okay? You are senior gold, and Ruby, red Ruby is a huge jump and one that needs to be celebrated, okay? We are excited for you to get there, but we want your excitement to start now, okay? We always say, they told us before we were emeralds that we are to step into that position and be a leader and feel like an emerald before we're there. And that's what we're asking you. We're asking you to step into that role and be a gem before you're there, because when you get there, the achievement is going to feel so great. So we have broken this call up into 4 key business elements that we've all been coached on. And that's what we're going to cover tonight: enrollment, retention, duplication, personal growth, and Kelly's going to bring it home with business commitment and how all of those go together for your business, okay? So I'm going to focus on enrollment. Now, enrollment is different than recruiting. Yes, recruiting is involved, but enrollment is a bigger umbrella of what recruitment is. Enrollment is, what does it look like for your team? What is your team doing on a monthly basis, okay? So when you're looking at team goals, the best way to do it, hopefully you're already doing it at this point, is having those weekly accountability calls with the leaders on your team and knowing what everyone's personal goals are for their month, right? So yes, on average, we would all love to recruit 2 to 3 every single month. Some months are bigger, some months are slower. The goal needs to be what each person wants to do, you should have written down so that you can help them. What's your personal goal, and come up with what your team goal is for the month for enrollment, okay? Once you have that goal, you're going to work backwards or up, whichever way you want to look at it. Say you want 15 for a month. You want to know at the beginning of the month, okay, in the first week we've added 5. We're doing great, okay? Some months are going to start off and you're at the 10th of the month and you've added 2, and you want 15 by the end of the month. The enrollment umbrella needs to be something that you are looking at on a daily basis, okay? And if your team isn't recruiting, if you're not recruiting, what do you need to do to improve enrollment? Is it your IPAs? Is it power hours? Is it doing a team call focusing on why recruitment isn't up and enrollment isn't up? Okay, so it's figuring out that pattern of what's working. Now, you get 4 or 5 at the beginning of the month, then you lull, right? The next thing I want to talk about is incentives and how that fits into the enrollment. This is where it becomes tricky. Senior gold, you're making money, but it's like money that is really life-changing for your family, is really being helpful. How do we spend that money in our business and make it an investment? At this level, you should be investing in your people and in your business. I can guarantee you that all of us, as the leaders on this call, we were doing it at that time. Now, you can piggyback with your upline, so it's not like a huge chunk, but you can be doing things at the same time other incentives are going on. And who doesn't love to like have their name in drawings on 2 or 3 different teams or different incentives? Now, you don't have to wait for your upline is also the other thing I want to share. If you have your monthly goals for enrollment and you're not there, you can do an enrollment thing for 24 hours, 48 hours. One key thing that has been successful for us is urgency. Flash sale. Here's what we're offering you today, just for today. Or $20 off enrollment for first 5 people who join my team. Go. And then you get to have that opportunity where, okay, 5 are gone. If they go like that in hours, okay, then you can increase it. You can say, oh, let's do 5 more. This was a great contest. If those 5 take that entire 24 hours or 48 hours, okay, maybe that wasn't, the timing wasn't right, but at least you threw out a flash sale and you've bumped yourself up now to 10, people for the month if your goal is 15. So those are just a minute like info on incentives. I will tell you, we've done them all. There's a lot of great opportunities, but the key with incentives is it needs to be truthfully like you're going to get something back from it. Okay, so it is either just $10 off this month. My favorite to do is $10 off this month and $10 off next month when their convenience order processes. Okay. I also like to do at the beginning of the month between the 1st and the 4th, I like to do $10 off your welcome pack and then $10 off if you pop over 100 PV in the same month. Okay. So it kind of depends on what your goals are. Now, I need to kind of step back on, this is talking about enrollment, but it's not just incentives. Okay. I'm going to talk points for a second. You are shooting for 500 for Ruby. Right now, maybe you're 275 points as a senior gold. Okay, that's 225 points left to go Ruby. Divide that out by 5 because most likely you're getting still a lot of level 1s and 3s. You might have a little leg that's deeper. You know, I'm doing simple math, okay? So we're at 5 points per person. That's 45 people that you need to enroll to go Ruby. Okay, you set a 3-month goal of going Ruby in 3 months. That's around 15 people per month. Okay, so we're not asking you to recruit an army, and none of us are asking you to do those 15 people yourself. The 15 people is who under your enrollment umbrella on your team of who needs to be recruited that month. Okay, so maybe, you know, for Faith being on here, I know Faith could do, 3 herself, and she's got 2 level 1s that are going to do 3 herself. Okay, there's 12. Let's try to figure out what, a new wholesaler that would like to add one ambassador to hit that 15. Okay, look at your team. So we're breaking that down. If your 3-month goal to go Ruby, 15 people per month, that is assuming everyone purchases welcome packs. You do not get points with welcome packs. First 2 months, run an incentive to get those welcome packs and get those enrollments in. In your 3rd month, run that incentive of welcome packs in the beginning and 100 PV for an additional incentive at the end of the month to gain your points. Okay, so that's how we talk about incentives, 90-day planning, gaming with your team, and really focusing on your umbrella of enrollment. Okay, again, utilize your team for this. Do not let enrollment be something you feel fully responsible for getting to Ruby. Now, many do it. Many go really wide and they're big personal recruiters. That's awesome. But at this point, you guys all have a team underneath you that have goals too. So working with them and finding out what their goals are will help you reach that, the big number, okay? The last thing I wanted to say was on the recruitment, modeling the qualifications, okay? Modeling that you have qualified them and that they're going to have 100 PV a month after, obviously, their welcome pack. Say it's a triplex. Are you going to get them that first customer, or are you going to get them like a 3rd or 4th product? Am I over on time? Oh, almost. Okay. And convenience orders being on. Okay. So this is a must. All those incentives I talked about, all those enrollment things that I talked about, your convenience orders need to be on. You need to set that example. Okay. The last piece before I jump off and pass it on, I have to show you, we have this graphic. And I'm going to send it to all my leaders, and they can send it. Oh, you guys can't see it. It's called First Steps. Darn it. It's a reflection. We have first steps for an ambassador for enrollment. Right when they enroll, getting on a welcome call, sending them a welcome email, like the steps that we do. This process is essential in your duplication in your business, making sure that their enrollment gets started off correctly and that they're taught and trained the entire same way. Good news is November 4th and 5th, we're going to have a brand new enrollment process with Genesis, and hopefully it's all going to go a lot smoother. So that's what I have for enrollment for you. I'm going to pass it off to Jessica.
Awesome. All right, you guys, sorry about the voice. It's getting worse. I hope it would be better by now, but it's not. That's okay. All right. So I am going to talk a little bit about retention, and then I'm going to take over a little bit of Megan's part, and she was going to be talking about duplication. So I realize, you guys, that these are all terms that you probably at this point feel that you've heard a bunch, right? So I always think when we get to these top tiers of people, it's harder for us to come up with training, because really it's that wash, rinse, repeat of like, we know what to do. You just have to do it. So hopefully you'll find some of these tips are just good reminders of things, and then just kind of take away some things that maybe you haven't heard said this way before. So Tracy just talks about recruitment. Really, retention, you guys, is a reflection of who you're recruiting, who and how you're recruiting, right? So if your team is like blasting and like, we're going to win contests and we're, this momentum is huge and we're adding wholesalers like crazy, you're going to have a recruiting problem unless something miraculous happens and everybody on your team switches over, right? I'm not saying to not recruit wholesalers. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when I'm talking about duplication next, but what you need to understand is, if you're teaching your team and if you yourself are qualifying people, as Tracy was talking about, of who needs to be a preferred customer and who needs to be an ambassador, people are going to stick around longer. Now, is it going to take you maybe a little bit longer to promote? Yes. But are you going to keep your rank? Yes. So it kind of all depends on, we just saw John Maxwell speak, and he's like, the fastest one doesn't always win the race. That's what it came to me of, are you building a strong team? Are you building a fast team? Which one are you looking at? Some people are blessed to have both. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but just keep in mind in the back of your head that, should this person be an ambassador? Should they be a customer? We look at some things when we're looking at who would make a really good, even wholesale ambassador. We have that open and honest conversation with them about, are you ready to do this? Are you ready to commit for 3 to 6 months? I know at your level, you guys, you're kind of like, do I really have to talk about, like, I need 3 more ambassadors, get 2 more ambassadors, get the planner, it's fine. Like, these guys won't count. But you're setting yourself up for not maintaining and for, that retention issue. So are they going to be consistent with their products? Are they really giving you that verbal commitment of, do you have an open mind walking into this? And are they going to be committed for that 3 to 6 months? If not, you guys, keep them as a preferred customer. I've had so many preferred customers come in not ready to be committed, and after they've been on the products and you've walked them through that, then they're like, oh, okay. And those ones retain amazing wholesale ambassadors. So again, I'm not saying it's the only way that you can make that happen, but just keep that in mind as you're looking at, who can I see sticking around? Treat your wholesalers like glorified customers. So I made this mistake a little bit in the beginning of like, okay, they're a wholesaler, they've been a preferred customer, they know what's happening, they're doing their thing, and now I'm going to go on to all my newbies coming in. You can't forget about your wholesale customers. They want to feel just as special as your new customers. So make sure that you not only are reaching out to them product-wise, but I like to reach out to them if you have a personal relationship with them, and touch base with them every now and then. It doesn't have to be, how's your pink drink going? Like, saw they got married, touch base with them. Let them know that hopefully that you really do care about them. That goes a long way. This last year, I sent $5 Starbucks gift cards to my wholesale ambassadors that have been with me for a year or more. They all wrote me things, like everybody was like blown away. $5, you guys. It doesn't even have to be that. You could write them a nice card that just says, I appreciate your business. Thank you for supporting me. Nobody does that anymore, right? Like, I think a lot of people do these kind of businesses and MLMs. Like, think when the last time you got a thank you from somebody you buy crap from. Really, I mean, it's like, wow, it doesn't happen anymore. So people enjoy that, and it makes them feel good, and it makes them want to be loyal to and want to keep supporting your business. So continue building those relationships. So the other thing that I'm going to talk about goes into a little bit of that process, but you have to do welcome calls, you guys. And I know you've heard it 100 times. You basically have to stalk people to get on welcome calls, and that's okay. And you don't feel bad about it, because if I didn't have a welcome call, I wouldn't be here. I was terrified. I didn't want to do it. I mean, the number of people that you hear that from that get to the higher levels in this company is amazing. I don't know what Emily even said on that welcome call, but when I hung up, I was like, all right, like, maybe I could do a little bit of this. It's amazing. It's not even what they say. It's that someone else that you don't know is saying it. It's that third-party validation of them. And they plant seeds into your head so that when you hang up, it's not just about the products. You're starting to think a little bit about, well, what if I could get my products paid for? Again, just building another connection and another relationship with the people that are sticking around. People like to be a part of something. So even if your wholesalers are like, I don't want to have anything to do with the business, put them on your team page. They like to feel a part of a group, right? Not everybody has that anymore either. So include them. I always say on welcome calls with people, you don't have to sell anything. You can still come to team dinner with us. You can still come hang out with us. You're not going to feel weird. We are here to support you, and we want to be your friend. We want you to be part of what we have. And just know too that you're not bothering these people when you're touching base with them, because they want to feel that. So that's what I have to say real quick about that. Quick to touch on duplication. I think this is one of like the easiest yet hardest things ever in this business, right? Like we know what we're supposed to be doing, but when we really take a good look at, are we duplicating in our business? I have to be so honest. When I was looking at pushing for Emerald, we were looking, I'm super wide. So my dual coach was like, or gem coach at the time, he's like, you're not duplicating. You have a bajillion ones and twos, like you're not going down. So whatever you're doing, I'm a hand holder, I'm an old teacher. I want to do everything for everybody, right? So I'm like, if I let other people do things, they're going to do it wrong. They're going to mess up my thing that I have going on. I had to get over that. I had to look at what I was doing. Was I really showing my people what I expected and what I wanted them to? You can't just tell them what to do. You really have to show them. So people can't duplicate what you want them to do if you don't have two things. They have to know what you're doing, and they have to know how you're doing it. Okay, so I think I was doing a good job of, here's what we do, right? When we sign a new ambassador, boom, 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 boom. Some people are like, that's overwhelming. I have no idea what you're doing. I'm going to sign an ambassador and then hope for the best, because all those things that you just said to me, I don't understand. And I was doing a really good job of that, because I could have those personal conversations with my level ones, but I wasn't teaching them how to do that with their level ones, and so on. So you have to communicate with your team. Here's how we do things. And you have to show them what you're doing. So when we were at Leaders Retreat, if anybody was there, John Maxwell said the I do, we do, you do, right? And I was like, so any teachers out there, there's something called gradual release. That's how you teach, okay? Like or your kids, think about your kids. Okay, I'm going to do it and you're going to watch me. Now we're going to do it together. And now you're going to do it on your own. I mean, it's like back to the beginning, right? So I was doing a super good job of that I do. And then the you do. I wasn't so much doing the we do, because I was so like into recruiting and moving on. So another training that I'm doing right now, a couple other people on our big team are doing them also, is the Bob. High training. I always say it wrong. And his big thing is everything we do in this business is an opportunity to teach. So we do a good job of that with welcome calls. If we can get people on, that's a huge thing. We do a good job of that with three-way messages. But where I feel like we aren't maybe doing a good job of that is he recommends every time I'm reaching out to a prospect and having those conversations back and forth with them, screenshot it, send it to your leaders and walk through. Have a Zoom with them and walk through. Okay, here's how I handled this situation. This person was asking me this question. This is what I said. Anytime that you have an interaction with any other human being about Plexus is a teaching opportunity for your team. And I think sometimes we overlook those because we think, well, we do them all the time and they should just be able to know how to do them. And some people, it doesn't come naturally. They have a hard time with the words, and they need to see it in order to be able to understand what you're telling them. Another thing is events, like bring them to events with you. If you have a meeting with somebody, bring them with you and just say, hey, this is one of my new ambassadors. They're going to hang out with us. It seems weird to us, I think, a little bit, but it made so much sense that if they're really watching what we're doing and we're modeling it for them, I think that that whole duplication process is going to work a lot better than what we've been doing. Or what I should say, what I've been doing. So really, you guys, the purpose of duplication, what is it? It's for us to not have to work so hard, really. So on the front end, right, we're working crazy hard because we're teaching our people what to do. But it's like going back to the teaching days of your kids. Like, do you want to tie your kid's shoes forever? Do you want to wipe your kid's butt forever? Like, there's things that you teach your kid, and then you're like, okay, now it's your turn. Go do it. Now my life's a lot easier. My kids can feed themselves. My kids put themselves to bed. So it's that teaching them and then go away, because now I'm going to bring in my new people. You're going to go do that with your people, and you're going to show your people what I just showed you. You're going to keep doing that. And then I'm going to bring in my new people and do it all over again. So, I just think it was kind of an aha for me, because this is something that I lack in. That's why I love doing these trainings, because I feel like we learn a lot too, looking through all this stuff for you guys. So that's really all I have. I think who's going next, Kelly, Sadie? Katie's going to go next. Okay. We like to spice it up here. We don't really know.
We don't know what we're doing. We're not sure.
Go ahead, Zades.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Are my friends not awesome? I have my team on here, and I just want to let you know that these women have changed the shape of my business. So I'm encouraging sideline sisters or brothers. I say it all the time. I'm saying it again. So I'm here to talk to you about personal development. Okay. So this is one of those things, I'm not going to be able to give you step by step by step. This is an idea. This is a framework around how you're going to get from good to great. Okay. And if we're not double diamonds, we need to go from good to great. Right. And even they can learn a thing or two, right? We're all humans. We're all flawed. So it's been said that network marketing is personal development with a compensation plan. Who has heard that? Okay, I've heard that, and I didn't even think about, it's some of those things that you hear. I moved really fast in my growth, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. Like, I don't even know what that means. And then you hit the place where you have to do that personal growth, that personal development, and you're like, okay, so I'm basically getting a paycheck to become a better person. So that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about, the importance of that. So, a lot of times in this business, I don't know if you're like me, but, even the month I went Emerald, any month really, I feel like it's all falling apart, right? I'm like, nobody's doing that. I don't know what I've got to get myself together. I'm going to get in front of all this stuff. And it feels like it's falling apart, but really guys, the only thing I can say is to go back to the one thing that's going to make your organization stronger than ever is pouring into yourself. Okay, so every time that I feel really out of control, this is what works for me. I go back to what I know that I'm good at. I'm really good at just networking with people on my team, talking to them, building those personal relationships. It kind of gets me back to center. It also gets me back to center to just kind of dive into something that I know that I need to be growing on, or just do any kind of watching videos or anything like that. So use it as a reset too, guys. Okay, I'm going to obviously give you more information, but allow personal growth to mean a bunch of different things. And maybe that can reset you when you're kind of, feeling a little off the rails, and that's okay. So the more valuable that you become as a person, okay, the more valuable you become to your organization, and the more money you will make. Period. Okay. The more value you bring to others, the more they will trust you, and the more your organization will grow. We learned a little bit about that from John Maxwell over the weekend. He really feels that if you can add value to others, your business is going to grow. And by growing yourself, you'll continue to add value to others. So it's all a very cyclical process, but a necessary one. Okay. So I looked at the definition of personal growth because I'm kind of one of those people. I want to know exactly black and white. What are we dealing with here? And here's what it says. Personal development covers activities that improve awareness and identity, develop talents and potential, build human capital, right? We're building ourselves up, okay? And facilitate employability. Obviously, we employ ourselves, a little bit different. Enhance the quality of life and contribute to the realization of dreams and aspirations. Does that not sound fantastic? I'm like, oh my God, I need to be doing this every 2 minutes. This sounds amazing. So guys, I don't know how many, obviously we just saw John Maxwell. He talked about this. This is a very, if you don't have this book, as far as a personal development book, this is my Bible. Okay. This is the one thing that allowed me to view myself as a leader, but it also allowed me to see my limitations. Very, very important. It's a workbook. There's Kelly's got hers. It is truly amazing. He opens the book with what's called the law of the lid. The law of the lid says that growing your relationship or your leadership ability changes the effectiveness of your organization. You will never grow an organization stronger than your leadership ability. Please let that sink in. That is not a joke. Okay? If you've ever gotten stuck at a rank, you have experienced the law of the lid, okay? I was experiencing that law for about 2 years, or maybe 2.5. It's kind of a blur. I like to forget it. But do you know what I'm saying? You'll never grow past your abilities at that given time, okay? It's not a personal thing. I'm not insulting you. I'm telling you, this is a very important thing that you put your time into. We all want change, but how? We have to act. We have to get into activity, growing ourselves, growing our weakness areas. Okay, we are all flawed. None of us are perfect. And that is the good news. We all are needing to do this. And we all do it. If you've ever felt stuck in your business, if you haven't felt stuck and you feel like you're on a rocket ship to the top, please personally develop so you never have to feel that stuck feeling. Okay? If you do feel stuck, I kind of thought that, maybe guys, it's your goals are surpassing your leadership ability. If you think about that, you're getting stuck because your goals and what you want is going farther, quicker past where you've grown yourself. And you've got to take that time. So, like I said, I was at Senior Ruby for a very long time. And I firmly believe that if you get stuck somewhere or if you got a limitation, you have to spend time there. And what does that look like? So general leadership support, that's an area of personal development that you need. All these books that you can dive into. You can dive into John Maxwell. You can dive into really anybody that, refines your abilities. Here's a good one. Good to Great is a great book. Can you guys see Jim Collins? Good to Great is a great one. We've got a lot of resources on that success portal that we have. It's got a lot of opportunities for you to just leadership ability in general, learning how to start viewing yourself a leader, guys. I think a lot of us, especially at the point that you are at your journey, you're struggling. You're like, am I a leader? Nobody's doing what I'm like. What am I doing? Just all of these things start to kind of feel out of control. And the way for you to take control of that is to start to really view yourself as a leader and start to learn the tips from some of these amazing authors on how to do it. Okay, something else. Network marketing focus books are great. Okay, you are in a network marketing industry. Like, this is an industry. You're a network marketer. Embrace it. Okay, GoPro is amazing. Sarah Robbins, she's amazing. Pick somebody that you like, even the 4 colors of MLM. Start to understand how to refine yourself in your business. These are great. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's another good news about this, okay? People have come before us and they've struggled much worse than us on some levels. Les Brown. If I ever feel bad about anything, I go listen to a Les Brown video and I'm like, okay, well, now I have to conquer America today, because that just built me up. Gary Vaynerchuk, he's somebody that is amazing. Write that name down. Follow him on Instagram. He's at GaryVee.com or at Gary V. He's amazing. But we've got to start viewing ourselves as leaders. We've got to start stepping in to being business owners and leadership focus. Another thing that I think is amazing about personal development is brainstorming where you feel like you're lacking, right? Write down where you feel like you're not hitting the mark, whatever that is. For me, I'm poor at reports. I was great at reports up to about where you guys are right now. I was on top of it. I was looking at, when AQs were going to run, and we don't call it that anymore, but, I was looking at all that kind of stuff and I was on top of it. And then all of a sudden, great problem to have, but my team started really virally exploding. And I'm like, I just stopped looking at it. That's a flaw within myself. I stopped looking at it. And I had to realize that if I was going to go from Senior Ruby to Emerald, which is where my big stuck period was, it doesn't matter where you're stuck, guys, but you've got to really dig in and learn what you're missing. Learn about those things, okay? Coach yourself and coach others, okay? If you have a weakness in welcome calls, guess what you're now the expert of? You're the expert of the welcome call. Okay, you suck at cold messaging. Guess what? You're now the expert of the cold message, period. Okay, if you want to grow past where you're at, you have to throw yourself into it. I really suffered with a fear of failure. I suffered with fear. I had a lot of fears. Do you know what I did? I started doing a call on fear of failure, and all these sideline teams wanted me to do it for them. Okay. I had to dive into what was keeping me in my place. I had to become the expert. And do you know how you become the expert? You fake it until you make it. Period. Okay? I was afraid giving that call, but if you watched me do it, you wouldn't have known. Okay. If you're afraid of Excel, if you're afraid of doing live video, if you're afraid of stepping out into, a significant leadership role on maybe your upline's team page, guess what you're about to do tomorrow? I've got four faces on here that I can catch up with anytime I want. So understand, I talked in that call about feeling a little itchy. That means you're growing. Okay. That means that you're doing something that's expanding you past where you feel comfortable. And that's what you have to do when you grow personally. And of course, I don't want you to have a heart attack. Okay. Nobody wants you in the hospital in a padded room over doing a live video. All I'm saying is there are ways to stretch your comfortability. And that's what you've got to do. Okay. You've got to, and you'll probably feel exhilarated when you do it. I don't know how many people feel exhilarated when I tell them to do something that scares them. They come back and they're like, I did that. I can't believe I did that. And I'm so glad I did it. Thank you for pushing me. And then sometimes there are people like, well, that was awful. Okay. I'm like, well, okay, we'll try next time or whatever. So that's what I want you to know. How are you going to do this? Books on tape, you guys. Audible is a great idea. iPad, do it on the treadmill. I don't want to hear that you don't have time for it. I don't really have any. If you don't have time to grow personally, then I don't have time to hear you talk about how you're stuck. Okay? Period. Okay? You can read books, whatever it is. Watching videos, those are kind of my favorite. They get me really pumped up. Journaling, another great way to do it. You just have to get to know yourself a little bit better. And you're great. So I don't know if you know that. And you're capable. So learning about yourself is probably the most important person you're going to ever learn about in your whole life. So I love you guys. I'm all done. I'm going to turn it over to my friend Kelly, who's going to take us home. She's got her Tinkerbell hair.
Thank
you.
Hey, girl. I don't have my little bun thing. My sister-in-law taught me how to use that bun thing when I was Tinkerbell. Anyway, Leaders Retreat. You guys, if you weren't at Leaders Retreat, we missed you, and you guys will be there next year. It is amazing. And so I'm just going to kind of wrap this all up with talking about being committed to your business, and talking about Leaders Retreat goes right along with that. When you guys are a gem in this company, when you're a Ruby in this company, you need to work like a Ruby. You need to be committed to your business. So when corporate has an event, we want you to be there. When corporate offers an incentive, we want you to earn it. When your upline has a contest, you want to participate. It's like we've all been saying, now can you do all of these things all the time? No. And we don't expect that. We all have, conflicts that come up, and that's life. But you are setting the tone for your team. As this level in this company, you guys look at this group. We're an intimate group. You guys are high level in this company. And it just comes down to, you need to work like you're a high level. Sadie talks about being stuck. We've all been there. It can get frustrating. If you've been at this level for a while, it can be a frustrating level to be stuck at. It's okay, you guys. You just need to work like you are a gem in this company, because you will be a gem in this company 100%. So we all keep referencing John Maxwell, because you guys, he was amazing at Leaders Retreat. I mean, seriously, like the most amazing training I've ever had. But he talked about acting as a tour guide and not a travel agent in your business with your team. So if you're going to work like a gem, you want your team to do what you do. You want your team to come along with you. Jess talked about it. And so when you are taking your team with you, you're taking them to places that you go, that you've been, you're coming with them. You guys, you need to be doing your IPAs. You need to be hosting power hours. You need to be working your personal business as you want your teams to be working theirs, because they're going to do what you do. He said, John Maxwell said, you don't ask people to do something you wouldn't want to do. So, Tracy talked about incentives in the beginning and leading these contests. What I love to do personally is, if something I'm struggling with, and Sadie mentioned this too, something you're struggling with, make a contest for everyone to do it. You better be the first one to do it. So I really, really get scared about having in-person events. It's just something that I struggle with. And I had decided my team was following me in that. They were all, being hesitant to host these events. So I did this contest earlier in the summer. And I said, listen, you guys, we're going to host these events. And I did it myself too. I was pushing myself. So you guys, make sure you're pushing yourself as you push your team. Do it together, work together, because that's how you're going to all go forward. Like Sadie said, it's the law of the lid. You're going to lift yourself up. You're going to lift your team up with you. That's just the way it works. So then to go on to balance. Now, the Rank Up Roadmap, you guys, I don't know. How many of you guys have been on Rank Up Roadmap and checked it out? Anyone? Okay. There are some amazing resources in there. And for you guys, specifically, the Ruby Rank Up to Roadmap is coming. They announced at Leaders Retreat like the first week of November, I think. So yours is coming very soon. But in the meantime, there is so much good information on there in the lower ranks that totally applies to all of us. So if you haven't been on it, you need to check it out. They talk about the senior gold level, dividing their time and balancing their time in 60% personal business, 25% personal development, and then 15% team development. So you guys, I really want you to think about that, because I remember being at your level and I was like, I have this team. Look at my team. I love my team. I love my team. I'm a teacher. I'm a manager. Look at my team. Team, team, team. And I guarantee you my 15% was way bigger than it should have been. My 60% probably fell, and my 25% was probably where it should have been. So don't pour everything into your team and leave yourself out, because we have to all keep growing. I say we because even at the Emerald level, I need to grow my personal business. I just said it to these girls today, like, I've got to do my personal business. We all have to do it. Not only for myself and for my team growth and to earn the incentives that the company offers, but because my new level ones are going to do what I do. That's another thing John Maxwell said. He said something about, they're going to do what you do. And then he said something like, I didn't say what you did, so it's not what you did 2 years ago when you joined this company, because we were gangbusters and going silver every single month. And you can't expect those brand new people who join tomorrow to go gangbusters when they're not seeing it for themselves. So we really have to be continuing to push ourselves to find the new people, to grow our businesses, so that these new people see the way it's supposed to be done, because they're going to do what you do 100%. And then this last little piece of balance, I'm just going to get on my soapbox because I love this little thing, is that Plexus, you guys, is the health and happiness company, right? So we talk about how we're supposed to work our business, how we're supposed to divide our time, but you guys, it comes down to, we need to be healthy and we need to be happy. And so Plexus is not here to stress us out. It's not here to make us angry. We need to take care of ourselves. And so a lot of that is managing our business, because obviously you're going to feel better when your business is thriving. But you also need to do the things in your life that take care of you. So whether that's, doing yoga or going for a run or walking your dog or cooking healthy meals for your family, you guys need to take care of yourselves. And not only will that help you to be, just innately happy and healthy, but you guys, this business is attraction marketing. People are going to be drawn to you because you are doing the things you love. You are happy. You are healthy. You are not stressed out and all Plexus all the time because, that dream teamer of yours, that's not what she wants or he wants in his life. You guys, they want balance. They want the happy. They want the healthy. They want, that they want the good stuff. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself while you're taking care of your business, because it's just like all one good bundle of love. So that's really all I have for you guys tonight. Sadie said it, aren't my friends amazing? I just love, love, love working with these women, and I loved seeing them all weekend. We're all like sort of slowly recovering from the fun we had. But thank you guys for taking the time to be on tonight. We truly appreciate it because we know everyone's time is super valuable. So that's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you all for being on. We'll share the recording with everyone soon.
Awesome.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.